here with Falco Tuso,
What's up?
who's more than willing to introduce himself to you, of course. We're going to be going live with Germany versus Sweden. Now, two powerhouses, of course. Maybe you would like to talk a little bit about those teams?
Yes, for sure, man. I mean, as we saw it, like Sweden was kind of considered an underdog, but they quickly showed us what they can do and what they're capable of. So even though Germany is the first seed in this tournament, I wouldn't count Sweden out as fast, especially since Germany, in some sorts, kind of got surprised by Portugal, like from what I remember. So it can go both rounds, but again, it is Team Germany. Like we got the variety mixture of those teams. So we got both veterans and youngsters alike. So in terms of wits and brains, they have everything they need. They have both experience and confidence. So I doubt they will just fall off.
And the fun thing about Team Germany is that you could basically split the team in half, and I would still consider them probably a top 2 seed, right?
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
such a strong team. It's actually crazy. But on the other hand, we have Sweden, who came out of the gate swinging yesterday, and they have some very strong players as well. We saw yesterday, we saw Time Balloon absolutely destroying people. Taking 5 stocks for himself, and then we had Rage as the anchor, finishing things off. We cannot underestimate the power of this Swedish team.
Man, absolutely insane. Yeah, look, you're totally right. Like I expected Ireland to be on the victor side of things, not only because of Scarfield, but because of the synergy I like. But yeah, as you mentioned, like Sweden had the game plan set, and it was quite dominant, if I would say. Like, I mean, Germany kind of has to watch out for one thing or two.
I think the big thing about Sweden is if they can get the momentum going, they will have a good chance to make it happen. We're going to go straight into the first game here. It's going to be Palestina versus Peach. Take it away, Falco.
Okay, and it looks like we're starting out with Takeo. So, okay, I know Takeo as a Nike player for sure, but not as a Palutena player. I hope this is correct because I always thought that is Light. And okay, it is Light. Never mind. It wasn't updated yet. I would have been surprised, to be honest. But yeah, just like yesterday, Light as a starter is such a good choice because he has both experience and has a very flexible character, Palutena. So why not put him first?
Yeah, that's a great reason to do so. And Light's also a very unpredictable player and is very hard to prepare for. So he's pretty much the perfect guy to send out first. Now, on the other hand, we have Bali, who didn't play yesterday, and he's going to make his debut in this tournament today as the Peach player here, both in the green.
Yeah, against one of the best, if not, yeah, like a staple in Europe. Even though Light was kind of falling off in those recent times, he already shows how much he's capable of. Almost taking one stock here.
The other radical will tack on some extra damage here, and the explosive flame will finish it off. Light with a very strong first stock, and Germany is coming out swinging here.
So many good hits, such a systematic edgeguard. And yesterday we also mentioned that Light is so strong in advantage. If he has the stage behind his back, he's just unstoppable. His advantage game is so clean ever since Sheik and SmashCore.
And one of the things I love about watching Light as a Palutena player himself, he sometimes does things that don't really seem to make sense, but then you analyze them further and they're actually insane, in that upper almost killed.
Yeah, like as you mentioned, he's just going for this stuff. Like it's, yeah, as you mentioned, down smash. It's just so extraordinary sometimes, and yeah, there's some risk involved, but sometimes it looks like he exactly knows what he's doing. He knows it will hit, and it's all part of conditioning. Unfortunately, Barty cannot get that edgeguard on set. Very nice nair, but sadly, Light still being alive. Never mind. 2 stocks each.
Bali took out the first stock from Light, and that's a relief, but immediately loses his own stock. Now Bali has some work to do here, but Peach is such an explosive character, he might be able to make something happen here, but Light still as dominant as ever.
He needs the setup for sure, and Light already showing how much he likes to play this matchup. Not only against Medo, but also against Robin GG. He has the experience at hand. And yeah, he looks pretty confident. Always going for the explosive flames as a follow-up. It's a nice condition.
Using the turnip to further set up that ledge trap. The Peach Bomber coming out, Light staying put. Uses the other radical to create some space for himself. Bali on the aggression here.
Now Light being the one going in with Nair, and we're already seeing how much faster the game evolves. Light was a bit slow in the beginning, all in conditioning, and right now he's just going in. He's just giving nothing to think about in terms of Bali. Now chasing up, maybe following up with a kill even. Flash up situation, obviously rolling behind. Bali already knows this. Spot dodges, very good confirm.
Yep, and then
Ooh,
Bali actually gets another stock, and that's fantastic news for the Swedish team because, like, you need to get past that wall, and Bali is doing fantastically. He might even be able to make this big comeback happen here.
Maybe, and even if not, this is so much value for Team Sweden. Like, you expect Light to not only 2 but even 3 stock the enemy team, but yeah, right now, he's already at his last stock, and it can happen. Unless, yeah, he won't DI this one. Up to it, got some buffs in recent patches, but yeah, man, getting 2 stock of one of Europe's best, that's kind of clean.
That is kind of clean. So Germany takes the lead here, only by 1 stock. So now Team Sweden gets to decide who they are going to send in against Light. Now it's basically choosing or trying to lose as little stocks as possible.
Yeah.
So looking at the Swedish roster, there, of course, Palutena is such a hard character because she does well across the board. But are there any characters in particular you think that could do well against Palutena here?
Well, now that's the thing, because I know Light is quite fond of the Zelda matchup, for example. Like I would have counted Doomis in, but on the other hand, maybe you want something different on the lineup. Maybe not necessarily a matchup plus, but like a confident plus. For example, Time Balloon. I'm looking at him, or Mint even. Having characters like Donkey Kong or Refit who can just like surprise Light in this aspect, and they just need to take 1 stock. They need 1 stray hit, and they can just push it all the far. So yeah, but let's see about it, because as we know, Light is quite experienced in those scenarios, being a rather staple crew battle smasher ever since Brawl. So yeah, it's not the first time he's in this last stock scenario. He exactly knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and he knows that he needs to make he needs to get as much value out of that final stock as possible. Now, I'm looking at Team Sweden's roster, and yesterday we saw Taudi play as a Mii brawler, and that's such a weird matchup. Do you think that could really have unique value for Team Sweden here?
Yeah, I really don't know, because we know Light likes to struggle against those rather special matchups. But I mean, yesterday he proved to us, winning against the Migana in the Team Portugal. I mean, he seems to be kind of ready. So he wants to bring in as much value for his team as possible. But yeah, maybe a rather specific, non-characteristic matchup would be the choice. Again, I think we can both agree that Rage will not see the light of day anytime soon. He is the anchor of this team after all. So I do not think they will waste him as early.
Yeah, of course, Rage's explosive Bayonetta. Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing that one, but we're probably going to have to wait until the final match. And in the meantime, Sweden is considering who to send out. Will it be Time Balloon? Will it be Mint? Or even someone like Riff, Doomis? Well, they actually have quite a lot of options here.
Yeah, they have some choice. And I really liked it about this this Team Sweden we're seeing right now. It's a lot of variety. I did not really expect it, because from Sweden we did not see too much international representation now, aside from Rage, obviously. But when I'm looking at the roster, they seem to be ready for a lot of matchups, like similar to Germany.
Yeah, similar to Germany indeed, and some of the other top teams we've seen. Referring to my own countries, for example, if you look at that roster, that's an absolute nightmare to prepare for. But yeah, Sweden showing they do have quite the variety. They're not just a couple of Palutena players, for example.
Yeah, not at all. And I mean, I'm all for it. Like, I like myself a competitive match, and so far it has quite a nice start. Being in the last stock game 1, why not? This can definitely turn into a completely even situation, where Germany has to think about sending in the next guy. But again, Light being stuck to his character, obviously, no problem. It being Palutena, very flexible. It comes down to which stage they're going to play, obviously, because even though Battlefield is considered one of the better stages for Palu, Light proved to us that he can play on stages such as SmashCore, FD, and Town City. He's just so various with those stages, man. It's almost insane.
Well, and that's obviously also a big advantage of playing Palutena, a very flexible character, including stages. And we're going to see Time Balloon, as you predicted, Falco. Time Balloon is going to come out here with the Lucina. Light will have the SD2 stocks, and we're going to go off on the races. A taunt, and we're starting.
Yeah, which is interesting, because Actually, I try to consider him picking DK, but I mean, the more I think about, okay, you want to play Smash, you want to play Lucina, that's a really good choice, to be honest. Even though eating like 2 dash attacks in a row, Light not stopping anytime soon, now he has to think about how will he proceed with the stock. Will he keep it? Will he play aggressive or defensive? It seems Light is rather on the offensive side of things.
Yeah.
He wants to get the value out.
Yeah, I think Light has made it very clear that he has no plans on playing defensively and just wants to get this stock out of the window as soon as possible. Try to keep the momentum for Germany going. Tries to go for that F smash, but Time Balloon stays put. Tries to hit that Dancing Blade.
And I can assure you, Team Sweden watched the match of yesterday because Light had so many kills with this setup. Like he was either standing with the back to the ledge or he was expecting the roll in, just like this time. And yeah, Time just waiting it out, being patient about it, and again, having a nice hit. Will he finish it though? Catching the TP.
Tries to go for an edge guard, doesn't work out. But yeah, that's good news for Team Sweden, having prepared so well, still losing the first stock. But if you can manage to take out Light's final stock here, that would be great for Time Balloon.
And Light being at sub 100%, it's still pretty fine. Palutena not being one of the heaviest characters in the roster, but Time going very deep. Light being ready for it. Oh, that's so much damage, you do not want to eat that. You gotta perceive that second stock.
Yeah, but the SmashCore platform helping out, it actually interrupts the Nair planes from Light. Tries to go for that F smash once again. Time Balloon dodging that out, needs to hold on to that second stock here.
That's so tight, great break by Time, but again, Light, as we mentioned, he is so strong in this advantage, and yet again, catching this single stock with this F smash, man. Oh, I thought Time was ready for this one, but maybe they're the nerves tracking, and Light knows every call out, it seems.
Yep, and now Team Sweden is sweating, because if Time Balloon loses this stock as well, then, well,
yeah,
Light has taken 6 stocks. That would have been insane. Tries to go for that F smash again, gets punished, Time Balloon finishes it off, but still, Sweden is trailing behind and needs something to work.
Oh man, as mentioned, this would have been the total waste if he would lose this. I mean, they took care of Light, but at what cost? Light alone got just 5 stocks under his belt. It's almost the same record as yesterday, where he got a full 6.
Yeah.
Oh man, it just shows how much good of an option Light is as the first leader in the school battle scenario. So props to Germany on this part. He's delivering.
All right. So we just discussed Sweden's options in this scenario. Now we get to see Germany picking a character against Lucina. Now, I'm not completely sure about the German scene, and I don't know how much Lucina experience they have.
Oh, I might say like shout outs to the Lower Saxony community because we have some Fire Emblem representation up there. So like we are talking about players like Zabaka, obviously being maybe the best Lucina in Germany, that is, and yeah, living together with not together but in the same region as Rino or Lucky, for example. Robin G also knowing this matchup to some extent. I doubt they will send in Peach in this matchup. I can see Lucky being played though. Or maybe even Takeo or Quick, because again, Takeo, he knows the matchup can be kind of weird as soon as he starts to recover, but maybe he has some choices up deck. Like you only need 1 stock, you need 1 good exchange. Maybe it's also Reno, but yeah, maybe to conclude it, I think it's going to be Lucky or even Quick.
Yeah, and I would say that Lucky is a great choicer. I would rather keep Quick as an anchor myself, but that's just me. I'm not the coach or anything. I think that Lucky is such a fantastic choice because, well, first of all, Pit is not a very common character. Second of all, Lucky has this aura around him of just being calm all the time and keeping things under control. And Pit is great at that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if he decides to stick with Pit, not like with Ganon yesterday, messing up my commentary schedule. But yeah, we're setting that one aside. But yeah, the more I think about, Lucky seems like a solid answer. Even though Quick was the 3rd option last time, maybe they might opt for a snowball scenario. Obviously, Quick only needing 1 stock, being versatile with the Samus, especially on Wi-Fi right now, where Samus is a threat on its own. Yeah, but again, it's up for the coaches.
All Samus players experience just a boost in success, strangely enough, once the online session started beginning.
Oh yes, especially this. And again, maybe like I know Reno wins a lot of battle of wits. Like he has almost no struggles when it comes to planning beforehand. So maybe they might bait out Rage if they send in Quick or maybe even Dark Thunder. They might opt for baiting out the strong Bayonetta player, and if they get rid of Rage, they have the mental state on their side. But yeah,
Right.
again, it comes down to this one. I think we can both agree on picking in Lucky maybe. And it's not going to be Lucky, it's going to be Dark Thunder actually.
Oh, all right. So Dark Thunder on your right side. Don't be confused. They switch side. So Bowser, and that's a very interesting pick to finish off this last stock with.
Yeah, and maybe that's all they need, because as we know, Bowser being on damage sides of things, he's being one of the best in the game. Like, he only needs one flame breath and some side piece. If he gets those though, that's another story, because right now... Okay, never mind, there it is. Like, time was going in, and yeah, similar to Light, if you're playing against Dark Thunder, you do not want to be in this spot specifically, because Dark Thunder is just going ham, and like, we didn't saw him yesterday at all, and he just showed us, yeah, he's one of the stronger guys of this team, no doubt.
Yeah, we saw Dark Thunder really excel before this whole quarantine situation started out. Misses the counter there, so Dark Thunder gets to live another day. Goes very deep on that recovery, very strong, very good.
This is tight. Props to Time Balloon for actually managing to get one stock and being sub 100. He's not inside B kill percentage yet. And maybe if he keeps doing it, very nice string. Time is doing a great job for Team Sweden.
Oh, definitely, and that's really amazing, because playing against Bowser under pressure is a whole task in and out of itself. Yeah. But the Bowser bomb is gonna take it.
And there it is. But still, man, Time getting rid of Light and getting one stock of Dark Thunder, man, that is not bad at all. One step closer to evening things out. But again, Germany being in the presence of things, having Dark Thunder out on the battlefield, and yeah, what do you want to do against Bowser? Because from what I saw, Sweden kind of knows stuff about heavies, having like one Bowser player, two Donkey Kong players, and a Ridley. Yeah, setting heavies aside on this part, but I think they're quite experienced in this favor. So yeah, I might see them going pretty aggressive on this thing.
Yeah, because well, the Bowser pick, it surprises me, because Bowser is a character that, well, he does really well in crews, because the extra pressure is terrible to play with against the Bowser. But on the other hand, you have easy counterpicking, because when I look at Sweden's team, they have plenty of characters that could deal with a Bowser.
Yeah, interesting part. Like, I'm especially looking at Yoink, for example, because I think both Palutena and Mario are doing fairly well against Bowser, especially Paolo in this regard. Again, maybe they might be opting for a Pokemon Trader with SR, or maybe they might to go with Doomis, maybe a rather defensive approach of things with Zelda.
Yeah. I was looking at Doomis in particular, because they get to choose the stage as well. If they can get a big stage, such as Pokemon Stadium 2 or Kalos or Final Destination, I think Doomis could be a very good pick into Dark Thunder here.
True. Like, now that you mentioned Carlos, I think it's going to be Carlos after all, because I know Dark Thunder is very strong on FD. Like, he's so confident on this map, and Pokemon Stadium 2 is also mostly favored for Dark Thunder, if I remember DreamHack Leipzig, for example, where he beat Quick on this map. And even though he's a Bowser player, he kind of knows how to play around his weaknesses, while stepping up to his style of play, which is like, just go in, all risk, and all of a sudden it just turns out to be a reward after all.
The beauty of watching Dark Thunder play is really him understanding that sometimes he has to take damage to get closer to his opponent.
Yeah.
And that sounds stupid, because in general you don't want to take damage. But as a heavy player, it can be good to take some damage. But we actually have the Mii Gunner lined up for this next match. I didn't expect that one.
Yeah, same thing here. Like, okay, maybe he's feeling confident on this part. It's Carlos, as you mentioned, a rather large stage. And yeah, maybe it's something odd, maybe a confident matchup in this time. But yeah, I know Dark Thunder is doing pretty good against zoners, so I'm kind of confused about this pick, to be honest.
Yeah, well, Taudi is definitely on the weirder side of characters with his Mii Brawler and now the Mii Gunner. But we'll see what he can do against Bowser. Of course, that neutral B is very good against Bowser, but Dark Thunder doesn't really seem to care, already tacking on 92% on the fresh stocks of Taudi.
Almost getting that up smash, and I might see why the Migana comes into play, because he has the Nest on B for the reflect. So if Dark Thunder decides to play with Flame Breath on edge guards, he can get a lot of percentage back. So maybe going for the sustain type of thing. But yeah, again, if it keeps going like this, almost dying from that side B, I don't know how heavy Migana is. Right now, being on the offense side, nice setup. Now, what will he gonna do?
Yeah, Dark Thunder makes it look pretty easy to get off the ledge. Well, that should be one of the harder parts of dealing with Mii Gunner. But yeah, Dark Thunder is doing great so far. Taudi bringing it back though, already 111% on Dark Thunder, and might be looking for the kill very soon here.
We are seeing very nice setups in this side. Like, even though he lost the stock, like, as soon as Dark Thunder has to go into shield, he knows what's up. Like, he's pressuring the shield all over again. And yeah, if this keeps going, Jowdy will maybe get the stock even, maybe even two.
Yeah, I think Taudi has a very good shot at taking both Dark Thunder stocks here. The up smash will take it, and now it's a fresh stock versus a fresh stock. And ideally, Taudi would take this without losing the second stock, and then Sweden is back in the race.
When Toadi's going in, Dark Thunder again being at the disadvantage side of things, and if he can manage to get Bowser a bit further off stage, he can just mess up his recovery so bad that Dark Thunder's gonna lose the stock for sure. Very nice approach. And yeah, he's just keeping the stage for himself, and again, a very, very aggressive approach from Dark Thunder in his reward with the Flame Breath, getting around 60% on 2D.
Yeah, it's a gamble, but it works out for Dark Thunder here. Taudi has to recover against that Flame Breath. That will tack on another 18% or so, and then the Rolling Fortress on the shield doesn't get punished, and Dark Thunder is once again using the Flame Breath just to tack on another 9% or so. It's looking very good for Germany here.
Oh, and now it's getting dangerous. Dark Thunder knows how to play those things, and yeah, you cannot hang there for too long. Being at over 100%, he can just go for this nice and strong after it, evening things out in terms of stocks.
Ooh, and now it starts to get really difficult for Sweden, not being able to secure any sort of a lead or even a tie. But now Taudi has to make it happen, has to get this stock of Dark Thunder, or else it might be too little too late.
Yeah, because Dark Thunder seems to catch up to things a bit too quick, and all of a sudden, being a kill percentage, nice DI in this case, could have killed. Oh man, it's getting tight. Taudi struggling to land, and yeah, not finding any footing, and he just died, man. It was looking so good in the first stock, and Dark Thunder just managed to turn it all the way around. Very impressive.
And that's the scary part of playing against the Bowser. Once they get inside your head, well, there's no getting them out. They're just too big. They can't. Yeah, it's just.
Man, he was sitting at that last stock for so long, but Taudi kind of struggling to get his plan done. Like, he was playing a great neutral, to be honest, but yeah, he was not getting the transition into his advantage state. Like, he was holding Dark Thunder at the ledge, but he just always managed to come back, and you cannot allow Bowser to do that, because as we saw, he will strike back in a heavily favor.
And I love the Flame Breath usage. I think Flame Breath on its own practically did like 100 to 150%. Dark Thunder is so good with that move, and it shows. He just took over the game as soon as he hit one Flame Breath.
Yeah, just so insane. Like, I remember the one Flame Breath mid-neutral, mid-stage. He was just jumping in and pressing B, and it just worked. And that's the magic. That's like the magic. Like, I can I can tell you a little story. When we in Germany did not know anything about Dark Thunder, he was just showing up. Like, we knew he was a player, formerly Meta Knight and Snake, I remember, starting out. Now, obviously, with the Bowser. And yeah, he was just coming into the Calyptus tournament, one of the bigger German tournaments, and he was just stomping everyone. Like, we were almost established. Okay, we had Silentor, we had Light, we had True 4, many strong players, and Dark Thunder just just steamrolled all over them.
Mhm.
He just won the place, and okay, what's Bowser gonna do again? What are we gonna do against Bowser? This cannot be. Why are we losing against Bowser? And yeah, it seems both the player and the character combined can do a lot of damage, not only in Germany, it seems.
Yeah, and we saw a similar sort of scenario in America, right? Where I believe Leon
Yeah.
just suddenly out of nowhere with his Bowser started completely demolishing people left and right, and people were like, well, "It's Bowser. Just pick Palutena or pick a top tier, and you can beat him."
Yeah,
But
it's just a
it's
heavy.
not that it's not that simple.
And Dark Thunder just knows it. Like, that's the mind game part of things. And even though he's going for this rather unorthodox choices, it just works out in every
Mhm.
way you can imagine. Like, it's just so much personality in this character and in this player. Like, they're just fitting together, man. And it shows.
Now, now we need to stop talking about Germany for a bit because I want to
True.
focus a little bit on Sweden.
Oh,
Now,
of course.
I know you're very happy with Dark Thunder and how he's performing, but we need to start thinking aloud about what is Sweden going to do to stop this madman. Because
Yeah.
I'm looking at the roster, I'm thinking, well, maybe it's time to send out Rage. Maybe.
You think so? Man, it's. I mean, I agree. Don't get me wrong, but man,
You
as
need
soon
to
as we
stop
put
the train from going
yeah,
all off the rails, man. This because Sweden is already very far behind, and
yeah,
if you just send in, well, let's just say someone like Mint, and I think Mint will get stock of Dark Thunder. You need something to get the train back on the rails and get the momentum rolling for you, and maybe Rage is that kind of player.
yeah. I think so. It will come down to one of those two guys. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it comes down to what Mr. Green, the captain, chooses to do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's obviously a rather bad spot for Sweden, but yeah, it comes down to the approach of things. Like, you either want to take a stock of Dark Thunder safely without losing too many resources, or do you want to play the long game already? Because we know as soon as Rage is in, we have so many counters against this character. We have so many players who know how to play against this strong Bayonetta. Not only Quick, but I'm also talking about players like Reno or Lucky who are
Mm-hmm.
especially fond of this matchup. Man, it's gonna be pretty rough.
And they're going for the first option here with Doomis sent out. Here the Zelda against Bowser. Now Zelda is also a very strong online character using the Phantom. And here we get to see what Doomis can do against this menace.
Okay, I'm actually really surprised they're going with Doomis. Like, I mean, for sure, if he takes the stock of Dark Thunder, which he does now.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah, not much talk, just do the work. Yeah, good job at Doomis for this kind of thing. But yeah, right now, you have a Zelda player who has to adapt to like almost anything. So
Mm-hmm.
they can just pull out all the stocks, playing a very aggressive character like maybe Scythe with Diddy Kong or Reno with Crom. But yeah, maybe they can go for the campy playstyle Ditto, I guess. Maybe already sending in quick.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna see an aggressive approach, to be honest. Like they
I
want to
think so as
crumble it down.
well. Yeah. So I think we could see Renor here. Maybe even someone like. Mm, well, I'm considering maybe even sending out Snormanda. I know
True.
Snormanda has some Zelda experience, but I'm not sure if they already want to show their their kind of their Bowser Jr. card, so to say.
Yeah, like especially since I think they might give those players a chance who could not shine yesterday because yeah, I mean Germany was Portugal was a thing for itself, but now we're seeing Dark Thunder and maybe the spotlight could be on maybe Winner or the more I think about it, Snormanda seems to be a logic choice. Maybe even Takio being
Mm-hmm.
a strong sword fighter with Ike and just breaking easily to Zelda's wall.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're gonna see in short times.
And
Again,
just
I think it's gonna be between those two. But yeah, keep going.
yeah, just to clarify, does Germany have very strong Zelda players? Because I know the Netherlands has Meru for Zelda.
We do not have as many Zelda players, to be honest. Like I
Mm-hmm.
remember Casper being from the southern regions,
Uh-huh.
but I know we have some pocket Zeldas who are pretty strong. Like I will not forget about some players like Johnny Banana or some retired players like Sui Shomaru, for example. When
Oh.
he played, he had a really strong Inkling and a Zelda. Sadly, not being active too much in the scene right now. But yeah, there is some XP left, I think.
Yeah, and of course Zelda is not not that difficult or that it is a tricky matchup, but on the other hand, it is quite straightforward, I would say.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like you really gotta get your game plan set, and all of a sudden Zelda cannot do as much stuff. Like she's not as good in adjusting as other characters. Like she struggles a lot with the disadvantage, having a
Yeah.
rather slow teleport and rather slow buttons too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah, we're just gonna be seeing what Germany will do. Now these two teams are playing for the semifinals here.
Yeah.
So there's a lot on the line here, which adds to the pressure. Looking at the lineups here, I would say that Germany is better suited at dealing with pressure, having been in very high stakes scenarios quite often. Think of international tournaments where Quick had to play against MK Leo, for example.
Oh yes, oh yes.
Stuff like that. And on the Swedish side, we really I don't want to say like they're inexperienced on the international stage, but I think they have less experience.
Yeah, and I think we just do not know what they're capable of, because Rage on Valhalla, it almost seemed like he exploded out of nowhere and just showed us, oh, okay, there's this Swedish player who's not playing melee but Smash Ultimate, and he's just winning games, almost beating Quick in the process.
Yeah,
that was an insane set to remember. And similar things with Denmark, for example, with Hope. And it seems there are more players who are maybe as strong or stronger than Hope even is. And that's the nice thing about the screw battle, because so many players get the spotlight, the chance to compete on international basis. And man, they show us.
All right, so it is going to be Takeo, as you pointed out here, on the Ike, and Duma still on the Zelda. Now, Dumas has some work to do here. Needs to make up 3 stocks here, and Takeo is a very solid player and always manages to do well on these online tournaments. Started attending offline tournaments a while ago.
Yeah.
But it's more known for his prowess on Wi-Fi, I would say.
Oh yes, oh yes. Yeah, it's like, obviously it is the online, the Wi-Fi Ike, but Takeo, over the course of things, he showed us how intelligent he can be when just breaking some barriers, because it looks so silly and simple, but his approach is rather slow but concrete and direct, and we already see Takeo's always in Doom's face, even taking a stock in the process, himself having only 36%. If you think about Ike's moveset, that's kinda insane.
It is insane, but as you pointed out, Zelda has a lot of problems and disadvantage, and we just saw Takeo absolutely abusing that in that stock.
Yeah, like Ike having such a strong combo game, if not one of the most consistent in the game. Like, as soon as he gets the snare set, he just can roll all over Loomis right now. Very nice catch with his F smash, evening things out really quick. So it will come down to how much Doomis can take for his team. It all comes down to resources, to the long play, and Doomis seems promising so far.
Yeah, Doomis has been doing great, of course, first taking out that stock of Dark Thunder, and now he's going even with Takeo, but it's really a battle of advantage states here, where we see Takeo just completely taking over the game as soon as he gets the single nair, but on the other hand we have Doomis, who, as soon as he gets Takeo on the ledge, it seems impossible for Takeo to get back.
Yeah, like, he needs the setup, and as soon as Doomis has the setup, he is so good in just closing out the stock, and I think Takeo knows this, respecting every choice he can come up with. But again, such a good stage placement. He's always in the threat bubble of Zelda, like, he does not want to get out of there. He is head to head.
Yeah, and another nair to backer will finish off that second stock, and now Doomis is on the ropes, needs to make something happen. Let's see if he gets this edge guard done well. Takeo makes it back to the ledge, uses the Ether to cover some extra space, and makes it back to the middle of the stage, but gets Nairut Law all over.
Great catches, and it seems Takeo kinda managed to get through. Oh, the Phantom almost hitting him out of the recovery. Oh man, I mean, he's not fishing for the S-Smash, he knows how Takeo will land, but again, such a nice punish. As you mentioned, as soon as he gets the setup done, he will just get the kill.
Yeah, and that's the scary part, because now it's a ticking time bomb of who gets to hit first. Now Takeo's on the offensive side of things, needs to get this ledge trap going. Doomis makes it back with the up B, but it's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, how will you get out against this? I don't know really. Oh no, the eruption, will it hit? Will it connect? It won't. Now, Doomis having a chance. Maybe getting one hit, one stray hit to get the setup started. This could be it. Oof.
Great DI and great air dodge out of there. Doomis now needs to create some space, but it's so hard with Takeo being on such low percentage. Gets the Nair, gets to set up a Phantom, but Takeo once again finds the threat bubble and penetrates it with his Nairs. Now the up tilt will not take it just yet, but puts Doomis in a very bad spot here.
Very nice punish too, and yeah, now again, both players being so close to each other. Very nice air dodge by Doomis, and now it's getting rather risky. Oh, so tight, he was so ready for this F tilt, and yeah, the up air will connect, obviously, and it seems Takeo could have been more dominant in this sense, like he did some mistakes, but I think the plan was to just take care of Doomis, because Sweden does not have much more left, so maybe they went for the safe play.
Yeah.
To just win the game.
But Doomis did really well, taking 3 stocks on the brink of defeat. He managed to make it work with a character that's quite hard to play in a crew battle, the Zelda. And now he has set up for someone else to take the stage and potentially bring it home, because Sweden is not done yet. They are still believing, they still think they can do it. And I think they could do it as well. Germany needs to be still on their toes, still needs to bring their A game if they want to bring this home.
And who do you think will be the last hope, maybe, or the next hope, I'd say, for Sweden in this regard? Do you think they will bring out the Rage already?
I think they will. I think they will bring out Rage. I don't think. Well, unless they're bringing in Mint, which also could be very tough to deal with for Germany. But I think Rage is the logical choice. And we've seen Rage already taking on German players and beating them handily and sometimes almost handily, referring to Quick, of course. Now, Rage needs to take out, what was it, 7 stocks, I think?
It was about 7, so yeah, Germany
that's tough.
Afterwards. Yeah, that's so hard.
That's so hard, but it's not impossible, and the Swedish fans are still believing. They think they can do it.
Definitely they can. Like, we saw so many stories setting place in the crew battle scenario where one player can just roll all over the competition. If not only Lancelot yesterday, or maybe even Dragon, who was the shining hope for Denmark in the first match. Maybe it is Sweden's time to shine and
make history.
This could be now, like this might be the time.
And that's why I love this tournament, man. The storylines are insane, and we're seeing people face off that have never faced off or have had a fierce rivalry for years. And now in this crew battle format, everything's on the line. The hope of nations are clashing against each other, and we are getting to see the best of Sweden take on the best of Germany. And in what kind of role? Yes.
Beautifully said, now, man. So yeah, I can all but agree. I can just see the competition arising after this one, because I love seeing crew battles. Crew battles were like almost always my favorite when it comes to those tournaments, because both Germany and the Netherlands, UK and counting, they were just so hyped about
passionate.
And it's like a battle between countries. Like, we are talking as if it was like a national soccer championship, like a World Cup, maybe.
It kind of feels like that. I was sweating yesterday when the Netherlands had to play against Norway, or they were playing against Norway in a bit, against Belgium yesterday, and I just saw Gulbatron take the stage, and I just put my hands in my hair, and I was like, oh God, make it happen! It's it's something else, and I wish as soon as this quarantine stuff is over, I wish we can have a real crew battle in an offline scenario with big crowds at a large international tournament, something like Syndicate, something like Albion, something like a Czech Republic, or even a Calyptus Cup. I don't care. I just want to see it happen.
Man, just thinking about it, man.
It gives me the chills.
It sounds like a dream almost, but we can make it into reality, because right now this is the tone setter for everything coming. So,
and
in this case, though, keep going.
And if the people who are watching want to see that happen, then just start linking the stream to other people. Start putting it in your Discord, stuff like that, because the more enthusiasm you guys show for stuff like this, the more we want to make it happen for you guys. So Start sharing, start following the stream, stuff like that. You can really help us out here.
Yeah, definitely. Just spread the word. And I mean, while we're at it, like some small shoutouts, man. It's a pleasure commentating with you, man. So
Oh, thank you.
we're seeing this. Give this man a follow, man. His Twitter can be quite impactful, as you might say. Like I really enjoyed myself, and yeah. But now transitioning into, as we mentioned, Rage being the last hope for Team Sweden.
All right.
How will it play out? I'm excited.
I'm not sure how this will play out, but Rage has a large task ahead of him. But if there's someone who could do it, it's Rage. Yesterday he was the anchor versus Ireland, and today he's the anchor versus Germany. Let's see how this one plays out.
And yeah, it's starting out with a bit like now we're still in Smash Ultimate Wi-Fi, but okay, it seems it's quickly getting done right now. So Takeo against Rage, Pokemon Stadium 2. Long time no see on this stage.
Yeah.
So yeah, like the meta was kind of mostly on Smashville on rather smaller stages and at a rather quick pace. But yeah, Rage obviously preferring this one, and he needs to take only one stock of Takeo, and it looks great having Takeo with the back to the ledge. Never mind, he's coming back.
Yeah, Rage going a little bit too deep on that one. Now Bayonetta is quite a difficult character to play against. Lost some power obviously from her iteration in Smash 4, but here in Smash Ultimate, Rage can show you what this character is capable of and can still do those crazy 0-2 deaths every once in a while.
Yes, and great Tomahawk by Takeo. Ooh, I could have seen a follow-up after that, but never mind. Rage managing to get back to it. And yeah, the most important thing for Rage right now is to win this game without losing his stock, obviously. And it looks great. Takeo coming back to stage. He has different things in mind, man. He wants to give Germany as much value as he can, but sadly for Germany it will not be the case. Rage just showed us he is the anchor of this team, man.
All right. So one of the big worries of playing Bayonetta is not being able to KO your opponent, right? Getting them to 140, 150, and the percentage keeps racking up, but you aren't getting them in the blast zone.
Yeah.
Now, that could be a big problem against a character like Samus, right? Because Samus is quite a heavy girl, and could really be problematic in a crew battle format, right?
I love where you're getting at, man, because I was thinking the same thing. Will we see the rematch against Quickman? Why not now? So, yeah. Story's been told. I'm all down for it, to be honest.
I mean, that would be a beautiful way to further or to continue this crew battle here. Quick versus Rage, like that's pretty much the match I want to see here. But I could also see someone else taking the stage here first, softening up Rage as you would, as a manner of speech.
Okay, I can see it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it all comes down to it. Like, obviously, you do not want to give Rage too much snowball potential because you have to think about Germany. They have only two players left. So if the next player, whoever that would be, should lose a 3 stock, then Rage has all the momentum behind them, and maybe even Quick would struggle to find that opening because, like, we already saw Rage was playing so insanely great against Quick. Quick obviously adjusting in matter of games, but it can be a whole different story because we know Rage is pretty active in the Wi-Fi community. Like, he is. It's nothing new for him to play Bayonetta in this environment, and I think he will show us how much of a threat he can be.
So looking at the German roster, some characters I would not pick into Bayonetta are Longo's Rob and Snormanda's Bowser Jr. here. So looking at that, it leaves us with Reiner, Scythe, Lucky, and Quick, and Robin GG. I think.
GG, yeah.
So which of those besides Quick would you think would be a strong option here?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a coin toss between Lucky and Robin GG if you're asking me, because like Robin GG with Peach, he is pretty fond of the Bayonetta matchup, like ever since Smash 4, of course. But it seems like Robin GG also being rather present in the Wi-Fi scene, being at a lot of Knife for War tournaments, and almost having like only single-digit placements in many tournaments in the Wi-Fi scene. So he is a very good stronghold if you want to tackle this one, especially softening up Rage just in case. Even if Robin GG loses, he will not go down without a fight at all. or you want to stop this momentum in like every manner possible, then I think we could see Lucky in this regard.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think Lucky or Robin GG could very well take the stage here, but I think, as we discussed earlier, that Quick seems to be the logical option here, and then perhaps have Lucky or Robin GG close it out if Quick isn't able to. Remember, Germany still has 6 stocks, whereas Sweden still has 3, so Germany is quite in the lead. They don't need to risk anything, and having Rage Snowball out of control might be a problem, but instead we're going to see Robin GG. So let's see how Robin GG fares in this matchup.
Okay, and it makes sense. Like, especially he got FD on his back. Robin GG being, FD being one of his more favorite stages, and I think he will show us in a matter of seconds. I didn't see Robin GG for a long time, to be honest, because obviously we are talking about Meadow as one of the best beaches we have. And forgetting about Robin GG sometimes, like the second place at Calyptus Cup mostly.
Yeah.
And maybe this is his time to show Germany what he can do.
I mean, Robin GG has shown time and time again what he can do to Germany, but now he is taking the stage in perhaps one of the biggest national events, or international events rather, that are happening, and Rage is going very deep, trying to get the stock rolling as soon as possible, but the Peach Bomber actually reverses the situation here. The turnip puts Rage in an awkward spot, and now it's hard.
Yeah, that's what I love about this matchup, because we're seeing such a good resource management from both characters. Like, Rage knows his stuff when it comes to recovering, handling the disadvantage scenario, and same goes to Robin GG, to be honest. Like, those guys, they will live for ages when it goes on like this. Though Rage being the first one to get the advantage started. Not quite getting the hit though.
That upper's not gonna kill, and that's what I was talking about. Those kill percentages are so hard for Rage to find. Needs to find a raw smash attack or some sort of offstage scenario. The Peach Bomber almost taking out Rage there, and Robin GG is starting out strong with the Toad.
Oh man, the counter still hitting, man. I just think Rage is... I mean, he had a good timing on this one. I did not expect the Toad to still be active, but yeah, good choice by Robin GG. Already having 58% on Rage's head, man. It's looking pretty rough so far.
It is looking pretty rough, but Rage finds the F smash, and now he can start to bring it back. Needs to just one setup to start the combo. Here it's 32% already upbeat.
Great
to another
catch.
one.
Oh, he's not dead. I almost thought, man. My heart almost slipped. Man, Rage is such a dangerous player, and you cannot count him out yet. He is still the hope of Sweden, and he shows.
He has nothing to lose. He's behind, so he is risking it all, and that makes him even more dangerous. Puts Robin GG off stage once again, now on the ledge, and Rage is looking for something like a back air, but Robin GG finds the back air instead.
Very nice recovery also displayed by Rage, and again, being in the neutral side, Rage taking a nice down tilt, chasing it, and he's just calling out so many options against Robin GG, and it really comes down to brute force. Robin GG might have the upper hand. Very good DI by Rage. Ooh, looks so tight.
Ooh, yeah,
nice.
Very good trump there.
And this is just so important, because as you mentioned before, it's time to lose up the snowball. Like, even if Rage wins this battle, he only has one stock to go into the final opponent, and it seems Robin GG wants to do more than just losing it up. He just wants to take the game home.
Yeah, Robin GG, just like you said, is trying to show Germany what he can do. Goes off stage with that forward air. With Rage, moves over it, gets the forward throw, doesn't kill just yet. Rage goes off stage up B to side B, and that will take the stock, and he makes it back.
Oh, that was so tight. What a nice display by Rage, man. He is such a good Bayonetta we have here, man.
Yeah, the best of Europe probably, but now needs to make a big comeback, 130%, and needs to get back to the stage. Does so barely. Robin GG gets the back down throw to up air, but Rage DI's out of it.
Oh, watch out! Okay, this is not it yet. Oh my god! Will it be enough though? Back throw, it will not seal the deal. And man, the heart of Robin GG should slip at this moment. He needs to close this game out. This is getting too tight.
It is getting very scary. Gets another grab, but that will not KO just yet. Rage makes it back to the stage, goes under the turnips, dodges 2 of them, 3 of them, but gets there.
Oh, and just like that, Sweden's hope snipped away, and man, in what manner? This was such a tense set, and wow. Great job by Robin GG in this case. Like, he's not the last one to rely on. He just took the game home and secured Germany the spot in the next round.
And slowly we see Team Sweden fade away into the darkness, losing out barely. Team Germany taking it home. Robin GG securing the deal with 4 stocks to 0. Germany really showing what they can do here.
But man, what a fight. I did not expect to see Sweden in this regard, like at all. Like they're putting in the best they have, and it showed. Like Germany had to fight for those wins. I just remembered, like, obviously Rage having such a great performance in the end, but also in between, like yesterday Mint, he was not playing at all today. It was Doom's time to shine. It was Tauri's time to shine, even though he lost against Dark Thunder. Like those guys did some damage, and I really gotta commend Sweden for that. They did a pretty good job considering they're so much lower on the ranking compared to Germany.
Yeah, but thinking back to this match, I think we can really say that all of Germany's players were playing very well today, and they made it happen. All you German viewers watching right now, you can sitting at home almost. Yeah, my heart was racing, and I'm not even from Germany. That last match was insane. The level of skill displayed by both these players is tremendous, and to have it finish on that one, that's the best Smash Ultimate in this crew battle. Some of the best players taking on each other.
I agree, man. That was just such a ride. And yeah, Germany will be facing the winner of UK against Spain in the semifinals, which is going to be a match to definitely tune into as soon as it starts. Oh,
yeah, I believe it is playing right now, right? On the other stream.
Oh yeah, right, on Geeky, I remember.
Yeah.
Oh, but man, make sure to watch. But nevertheless, it was such a pleasure, man. Whew. Yeah, I really got to rest after this match, man.
Yeah, I mean, you deserve one. Now, I want to thank you very much for casting with me, Falcotus, and I want the viewers to know that we appreciate you a lot for watching. If you want to support the scene, be sure to follow this stream. Be sure to follow the Geeky Goon Squad stream, and tune in now because UK is playing against Spain, and it's 10-8. That could really go anywhere.
Ooh, insane, man. Oh.
All right, and I think we're going to a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Be sure to tune into the Geeky Goon Squad stream, and we'll be going live in 8 minutes with the Netherlands versus Norway on this same stream.